the club had some difficult times. Probably to elaborate on it, we had a situation where the club's constitution was a bit skew-with, and what happened was one of the affiliates stacked the AGM, and effectively the board that was in place got ousted. They came in, took over, and they effectively ran the club bankrupt and then stepped back out. So to the credit of the previous board people, they went, well, hang on, we've got a vested interest. We built this place. We started it. We did everything. So they stepped back in and they actually remortgaged their houses. They gave the bank the securities, and I think it was to the tune of about $1 million from memory. And what they did was they worked very hard and they paid that back over 10 years, and they cleared that debt and got the club back up and running again. So that's sort of, and obviously from there, there was one of the first things that happened was the aggressive change in the constitution to ensure that it never happened again. And it's a funny one, the constitution, because if you look at most clubs, we run under the model rules of incorporation. That doesn't entirely mean that it suits your club and how you're running it and what you're doing. And hence, in our case, there was obviously we had to tweak it to ensure that this didn't happen again. And in doing that, it gave confidence back to the board members. It gave confidence to the people in the community, which is one of the reasons why we're all here. In this day and age, it's about systems. And it doesn't matter which way you look at it. And if you're talking to, whether it's your bank or whoever, they want to know what you've got in place. And that's one of the things we identified. So we've got Sarah here, and what she does, she's writing protocols for whether it be for maintenance around the place. We've got manual upon manual now, which are the pop-up, oops, hang on, we've got to go and check that. And so that we know now that it becomes automatic, as opposed to, hey, Fred, did you check the bloody sump the other day? Oh no, I forgot about that. And again, and it's a necessity. And it's a necessity if you want your club to be successful. Any organisation, whether it's Brisbane City Council, as I say, the bank, whoever, they'll read through and they'll go, perfect, you've covered everything. You're absolutely on the money. We'd love to support you. And does it take time? Yes, it does. We've made that as a paid position because we physically don't have the amount of volunteers to be able to do it on a volunteer basis. But we've worked that into the budget. We've gone, we can do this. Perfect. And very mindful of, as we go down the track of life, these demands for systems and transparency and whatever will become more and more. So if we start, or as we've started the process now to ensure that it doesn't matter who comes in behind us, it's there. It's in black and white. It's part of the protocol of the club. This is what must be done. One of the things that we found that worked very well, and I would offer it to any other club, is sit down, set your plan, make sure you've got the right people, and stick to it. There's always going to be the odd kink in the road that you might have to go this way or that way, but stay to what your plan is. And invariably, as we know, if you have a plan, you'll get to the end goal, and you will. And I've been part of a lot of clubs in my life in different types of sports, and the plan's been sort of three-quarter set, then it ends up bloody 10 blocks away and completely different to what it was actually set as. And then everybody wonders why we failed. It's like, stick to your plan. I've had 2 in the last fortnight. I've had 3 locals that have been coming here for a long time. And they collared me and they said, Kel, we just want to let you know that we've seen the changes that you're doing, and they're subtle and they're small, and we know that you've said this is about little steps, And they said, but we just want to let you know, this is a really good place to come to now. And I looked at them and I said, really? I said, well, if I could just correct you on one thing. And they went, what's that? I said, it's we. There's a team. I said, the fact that I'm at the head of the team doesn't matter. We've worked very hard to put a good team of people together, you know, whether it be staff, whatever. And I said, so I will pass that on to we, everyone. And they've gone, oh, okay, yep, good as gold. Because it's collectively, it's a team effort. And it's been good because we've in the last, probably 18 months, we've managed to get or probably 2 years really, a little bit long, but we've managed to get a good group of people, even to the point of staff now. We've changed the roles and staffing and how we do things, and it's been very successful. And now we've got, we take pride that we are with paid employees, that, we're putting probably $1 million a year back into the community. And we take pride in that because we're supporting people in our community. And ultimately, it doesn't matter which way you look at it, as a sporting and community club, our role is to support. So we've employed a full-time, well, when I say full-time, I think it's 30 hours a week, to look after the grounds. We've had confirmation from Brisbane City Council ground auditors that as far as council grounds go, this main field, we hold the privilege of being the #1 ground in Brisbane. So, which is pretty exciting because it justifies our position of being able to, by employing someone to look after it, what we're doing is we're doing two things. A, we're giving the community a facility that's first class. And secondly, we're looking after the asset of the Brisbane City Council under our terms as a lessee. So so we're pretty excited about the future. We really are. We really are. Been a lot of hard work, but hard work never hurt anyone. So one of the things I'd say to any club is that if someone stands down from your committee, generally it's one or two reasons. One is that they're tired. They, as you do as a traffic volunteer, you work pretty bloody hard. Or two, they've got some work commitments that don't allow them the time. So rather than let that person go, say, well, okay, sit down and have a chat and go, look, we're looking at call it a subcommittee, call it whatever you want. But do you think you can give us 3 or 4 hours a week helping in that area, which will endear us to continue on, where all the hard work that you've put in to make sure that we continue on and we don't lose people. We've just done it recently. We've got 2 board members stepping down, and I spoke to them about different roles, and they readily accepted. They said, "Great idea, fantastic. We'd love to, because we love the club." So I say to clubs, always look at your people. Always, never be scared to ask the question. And it's part of the journey and understanding what you are, what are you there for, what's your role, and how will the community benefit. And then I say to people that once you come to that understanding and you go, okay, we are here as custodians, and I keep saying, and I use this word a lot, custodians, it's our turn, and it's our turn to ensure that we continue the road of progress, but make sure everything's in place for the next lot of people. And it's challenging and it's difficult, but the rewards of seeing people and community benefit, just puts a smile on your heart.